Yeah.
Sure. Welcome to Showtime, everyone. And today's session is on leadership in the modern era, right? So we'll start with a very startling fact. So almost 70% of the workforce in the world right now is disengaged with their jobs. That's a huge number, isn't it? And it's not just a statistic, to be honest. It's a symptom of a larger problem that we can see. And that is something that we as leaders will have to address in the longer run. And in today's session, we will talk about how different kind of leaders have been there around us. We have seen them, we have seen their magic as well, but how we can learn from them, because sometimes leaders are born, we call them born leaders, right? And then there are some leaders who are carved over a period of time, and during that time they go through a lot of ups and downs, and that's what makes them the true leader. Okay, so yes, there can be people who are born leaders and they are lucky to be born that way, right? But what will happen to those who are trying to become one? Okay, not everybody is gifted, and that is where you have to hone your skills. That is where you have to carve yourself out as the individual that you dream of. And this is where I am reminded of a very interesting thing right now in front when I'm sitting at Showtime and talking about leadership. It's a huge thing for me, but almost a decade ago, I was working in the finance and accounts division of a leading company, and my boss, who was considering me also as one for the promotion for a bigger role, came up to me and told me one day, that Palash, your people management skills are pathetic and you cannot be a leader. I felt bad. I was taken aback because at that point of time, I was working wonderfully. I was getting awards. I was getting appreciated by the client for the work that I was doing. But this came as a shock. How can someone come and tell me that my management skills are bad? I am so good with people. I crack jokes with them. I am very good at my work. So I thought that it's the basic ingredient to be the leader. But then I realized, when I sat with him a couple of times and asked him why do you think so? And that is where I started learning things which are important for leadership. If you're good at your work that you do, that doesn't make you automatically a good leader. No, it's not that way. It's the other way around. Leaders need to have an understanding of the people who are working with them. You need to know what are the aspirations of the people who are a part of your team. What is it that they want from life? You have to create a nucleus of people around whom the entire team can run. They are the kind of people who will make your team grow, and you have to cultivate future leaders. Leaders also have to make leaders for their own benefit, because when you are leading a team, you have to pick up the ones who can take up your role so that you can move to a bigger role. That's how things run in corporate. And while we are discussing this, I thought I'll quickly take you through a small presentation, if I may. I will quickly share my screen with you guys. I have a small presentation. I don't like to bore people with the presentations on YouTube again, because that's what their life is serving them any which ways. People who are in corporate life, they know रोज का वो PPT या बनाना होता है या देखना होता है, right? But this, I thought that we'll make this a different kind of a session. Yes, there is a PPT involved, which I'm going to share my screen now, but it is not supposed to bore you. It has some fun facts. So let's quickly look at this presentation. So let's continue where we left. We were talking about some leadership examples. So the idea here is that there are leaders around us from where we can learn things, and we can we can incorporate those things in our real life and try to be a better leader for our team. Okay, so let's start with this presentation. As I said, I don't want to bore you guys with PPT. This is just a quick slide, and idea is that if you can find what is common behind these famous cricketers that you can see on the screen. Now, if you would have noticed, all of them were groomed by this man as a captain. India was under a transformational phase where there were a lot of match fixing allegations. The famous captain had to leave the captaincy, and that is where Saurav Ganguly was elevated. He was a young guy, given a charge of a team where they had a lot of issues already, and they wanted to come out as a winner, right? So with Saurav Ganguly, the example that I want to give here is how do you identify talent? Long time ago, one of my actually I learned a lot of things from my leader, so I'll keep on giving those anecdotes in the middle. So one of my leader told me that you have to identify talent within your team in a way that how you can move blocks from place A to place B. Place A to place B is, let's say, the task that you have to do. Okay, you have to identify which person in your team can be the elephant. Now, elephant can move huge blocks together, but they will take their own time. They are not that fast. So you have to tell them what needs to be done, and they will do huge amount of work for you, and in a given span of time. Okay, so you have to understand who is the elephant in the team. Then you have to understand who can be the horse. Horses, as you know, can move very fast, but they can only pick up a certain amount of weight. Okay, so you have to be cautious dealing with them. They get tired quickly. So you have to understand who is going to move things for you. Okay, and identifying talent is very important. Like Saurav Ganguly did, he realized that Yuvraj Singh could be a great finisher. Australia had Michael Bevan, and India never had a finisher who can come and finish the innings, make sure that the team wins. If you are chasing the target, or if you are, playing first, then you have to build a target. And that is where in the slog overs, you need someone who can come and hit. And that's how he realized that Yuvraj Singh could be a great talent there. Then comes Bhaji, India, if you all remember the famous India versus Australia series, India was 1-0 down. India went to Kolkata. At one side, Rahul Dravid and Lakshman played an unreal innings. But if you think, if you have to win a match, you have to take 20 wickets, and that's what Harbhajan did. Harbhajan took the famous hat trick, and India went on to win the series 2-1, and everything looks so amazing now if we look at it. But if you go back, at that point of time, giving a young bowler from Punjab that confidence that you can go on and win match for the country, that is where you have to first identify talent and back them up. And that's how we can take Saurav Ganguly as such a nice example. Yes, he was a leader, but how he honed the talent of his team, making sure that he gets the best out of them. Yuvraj Singh went on to win us the NatWest Trophy, Yuvraj Singh and Mohammad Kaif, right? Now, that is how you create a team of such individuals who can individually do well, and collectively your team comes out as a winner, right? So that is why identifying talent is such an important thing. Now, the next slide, you can see some years written in front of you: 2010, 2011, 18, 21, and 23. What's common in that? Now, if you look at this, I have also marked 2018 here, and I'll tell you why. These 5 years are the years when Chennai Super Kings won the IPL. And I had marked 2018. There's a reason why. There was a 2 years gap after which Chennai Super Kings was reinstated. And that same year when the auction happened, everybody was calling Chennai Super Kings the retirement home. Because a lot of cricketers there were towards the fag end of their career, and they thought that how can this team even stand the likes of RCBs and KKRs of the world? And that is where the true leader shows his character. And that is how Dhoni is an example that how you empower your team. Yes, he had a team of players who were older in age. But also, if you think of it, they were all rich in experience. Shane Watson came with huge amount of experience, and he utilized them well. He gave them the power that go out and perform. I'm there with you. and the team came out as a winner. 2018, against all the odds, Chennai Super Kings became the winner. And that's why empowering your team is important. It's important that you tell them that you have talent. I know, I have faith in you. Go out and perform. And that's how you create amazing team. You create opportunities where your team can go out and do amazing things. And that's how you become memorable for people. That's the kind of footprint that you create, because if you have people, you will have adversities. You have to tell them, boss, I have confidence in you. I have chosen you in my team. I know you have talent. All you have to do is do your best, and I'm there to back you when the days are not in your favor. And that's how you empower the team. So I've also compiled a list of leaders that we see around us in corporate world. The first one is a transactional leader. These leaders, according to me, are apne kaam se kaam rakho wala leaders. They will get their job done. They don't participate too much in your life. They don't poke nose in your work. They are the ones who would just ask you things of which matter to them, make sure that things go well. They won't go out and party with you, with the team a lot, because they want to create that difference as well, that I'm the leader, you are the team. And they are very transactional. And now people would say, are these leaders good? Are these leaders needed? Well, to be honest, in different situations, different leaders are required. It's not a one size fits all kind of an environment. It is a situation, because when you see, leaders are for people, and people are different. Every team is different. Every team will have different kind of people in it. And that's how you have to decide what kind of leader you want to be. And when I look at leadership, I feel that you have to choose the best things out of all, because your team can be of different age group, different mindset, different region. If you are working in major city like Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, your team can be of various, coming from various locations, various social economic backgrounds, right? So you cannot have a single standard approach when you are leading the team. You will have to curate multiple features within yourself as a leader, and that would help you in managing the team. So if you ask me, transactional leaders good or bad, it's the need of the hour that defines if transactional leaders are good or not. In certain situations, transaction leaders can get the work done, but if you ask them, can they cultivate culture, can they cultivate a team which wins? No, they are not those kind of people. So if you want to just get things done, that is where you have to be a transactional leader. Next one, the boring but very dangerous autocratic leaders. मेरी मर्जी, मेरा ऑर्डर, मेरे हिसाब से दुनिया चलेगी वाला kind of leaders. We all would have seen them around us. And these are the kind of leaders who would stick their opinion onto the team, and you have to run. You like it, dislike it, you can't do anything about it. And that's the kind of leaders who would not help the talent to grow, because they don't ask the team. They don't ask their team members what they feel, what is their feedback. They are the ones who are doing the things. They don't ask these questions. And eventually, whatever good and bad happens, good, the credit goes to the leader. Bad, the team is bad. You would hate working under such leaders. But there can be certain situations where you actually need to be autocratic in certain situations. So that's why when we are talking about leadership of today, we need to know about all these leaders and pick and choose what is it that my team needs. Now, if you look at an example, there can be a lot of leaders who are managing workers, or a group of people in a factory. The dynamics can be different there. So not necessarily you have to ask them for feedback. They have to get things done in a certain way, in a strict manner, because that's the deliverable, and you have to be autocratic there. but you cannot be autocratic all the time there also. But what I'm trying to say is things will have to be picked and according to the situation. So autocratic leaders, this is how a lot of people would have seen this and realize the pain of working with them. It's so difficult, but they have their own learnings as well. Autocratic leaders, if they are very good at what they do, I have worked with one such leader as well, very good in creative talent, was very passionate about the work, and I learned a lot of things from him as well. Okay, but their style of working will usually tire the team. They would start hating the fact that they have to come to work. But there are certain things that you can definitely pick from them. I'm not supporting autocratic leaders. Then comes the laissez-faire leaders. Now, a very interesting set of leaders who allow the team to work in the way that they want, the team wants. Okay, so they are the hands-off kind of guys. They are not someone who would be running behind the team with a stake, or what are you doing, or micromanaging stuff. These are the kind of leaders that we see around today. As the world is evolving, people see that, okay, autocratic leaders don't work, but these are the kind of leaders who allow the team to perform the way they are. They would give them the freedom, they would ask questions only when it's needed, and these are the kind of leaders who would get work done and be happy among the and make sure that the team is also happy with them. Okay, they maintain that status quo. Now, with this kind of approach also, you can get things done, the team is happy, overall things are good. But because there is some lack of interaction between the leader and the team, things aren't that fast. Okay, so that's the minus point of being a leader like this, because then you are not interacting enough with the team. Sometimes you also have to go and ask what is happening, what is it that you as a leader can learn, and you can revise the strategy. So that kind of feedback mechanism is also important as a leader. But when you are giving so much of freedom, you are not interacting that much. So that's the hindsight of it. But overall, these kind of leaders are very popular. They get things done, people love them. They are the ones who would go out and party with the team as well, but at the same time the team won't be bitchy about them. But these are the good look, the overall goody good leaders. The last one is the charismatic leader. Now, that is where a lot of things of all the leaders that we have seen, all the good things, the little masalas from all these leaders have to be here to be a charismatic leader, right? Because just like how we see garam masala or Maggi masala, which is so popular, right? I'm not endorsing the brand, but I'm just saying that it's good, right? It tastes so well because it has the goodness of lot of things around it, and that's how the charismatic leaders are. They can be autocratic at times when they see that the team is not able to run properly or is not able to see what is the project all about. They can be autocratic, but at the same time they can give you the freedom and not poke nose their nose in everything that you are doing and micromanage stuff. They are the ones who would also sit with the team members, understand what is their liking and disliking, and assigning the work accordingly. And they would be the one who would tell them about things that they give them positive feedback so that they can nurture the talent of the team. And that's how they become a charismatic leader. They will win hearts, they will get work done. Because what happens is, if sometimes you are being too lenient with the team, you are able to win the hearts of the team, but your management would be behind you because you're not getting the work done effectively. Charismatic leaders can make everyone happy. Their leadership will also love them, and their team will also love them because they are able to bring the right mix of everything. Followed by this, let's quickly see what are the goods and bads that you always have to remember as a team. So there are leaders who deliver versus there are leaders who destroy. So this last slide that I have for this discussion quickly talks about the goods and bads. The good leader will always share the information with the team so that their team is aware of what needs to be done. in the bigger picture and where they fit in, so that the blocks can put together and the bigger picture comes out. The leaders who don't share information with the team properly eventually end up destroying the team, because the team is running in silos. One team member doesn't know what the other team member is doing, or what is the cumulative goal. Nobody is aware of it, and that's where everybody is running like a headless chicken, and that's the kind of thing that needs to be avoided. They, with power comes great responsibility, right? That's what Spider-Man told us, right? And that is where the leaders also have to learn. You have power to manage the team. That doesn't mean that you have to use it, thoughtlessly. If you don't get this done, I will make sure that your, appraisal is affected and all that. No, you don't have to be that way. The problem is the world is full of these people, because when they get the power, they become the other side, which they shouldn't. With the, it's important. Sometimes, if tough decisions have to be taken as a leader, you have to use the power. But if you start using it thoughtlessly, your power will have no impact. See, it's important. Sometimes, I remember I used to joke around or tell my boss that, okay, if I'm not getting leaves for Diwali this year, I'm going to put down my papers. My boss used to tell me, okay, go and do it now. He was not showing off power. He was just telling me that I should not go out of bounds and throw tantrums like this, because I am replaceable. You also have to tell this to the team members sometimes in a certain way. But if you keep on giving that stick to the team member that I'll sack you, I'll make your life hell, at some point of time, either the boss can, the person can quit the team, and what is the use of that power? You can lose out on talent like this, and that's what is happening these days. A lot of leaders use their powers thoughtlessly, and eventually the good talent is lost. Similarly, it's all related. So if you use pressure or fear, or I am your boss, you have to listen to me, that kind of a mindset will eventually destroy the team. But if you lead them, if you give them an example, see, it's not that difficult. If there's a task, the team is saying, no, it's very difficult, we cannot do it, then sometimes as a leader, you'll have to get your hands dirty, show them how it is done, and give them the confidence that, see, your boss has done it, it's not that difficult, you can also do this. So that's how leading as an example works. Sometimes as a leader, you also have to look at the bigger vision. Some results may not be achieved right now, but will come out in the longer run. The leaders who don't understand this, who are myopic, who just see, I have to get this task done and that's all. They are myopic, and eventually they end up, affecting the team, and either the team starts losing interest in work, they become disoriented towards work or disengaged, and then you lose as a team. But if you are someone who is making sure that the right feedback is also given, and at the same time you are sharing a happy moment with the team, you are appreciating them as well. Because many times people have this feeling, if I appreciate my team member, the team member will stop performing. तारीफ नहीं करूंगा वरना वो उसके पर लग जाएंगे. Now, we all might have heard these things around us, isn't it? But it's not right, because you need to appreciate the team member at the right time, so that he also feels that, if I'm doing something and I'm getting appreciation, so the zeal to work stays. Otherwise the zeal is lost, and eventually you lose the employee or the team member. And that way, you also always have to see that if there is the team that is moving on from failures may come as in a team. Are you taking onus of it, taking it on the chin and moving forward, or you are the one who eventually starts blaming the team? You did wrong, pointing fingers at given team members. That is where we the leaders tend to lose. So I've just shown some of the examples and some ideas of how leaders are and what we need to do, to be an effective leader. I think towards the end of this presentation, I will just quickly like to give a closing statement for all of us, that when we are leadership, looking at leadership in the modern era, it's not going to be easy. We will have people from different walks of life coming together, and they have to be managed in a certain way. And but leadership is essential at the end of the day. You have to embrace change, you have to embrace new technologies that is coming up, you have to foster innovation, and you have to lead with empathy and authenticity. Empathy is important. Somebody in the team lost someone in their family, you have to be empathetic. I've seen leaders who do not empathize with the team members at the tough moments of their life, and that's what hurts the team members. So all we need is, we need to improvise as per the situation. We need to cultivate positivity in the team. We have to be empathetic towards our team. We have to we have to incorporate and technology as well, because there are so many different things coming up. How you incorporate technology and manage the team effectively, that is what is going to be the game changer. And thank you so much, Kedarnath, for this wonderful session, and having me on Showtime. It was wonderful talking about leadership.